Imagine trying to get home from downtown Vancouver, but there's no buses after 8 p.m. Or waiting twice as long for a SkyTrain or C-Bus.
I rely on transit. I take bus, SkyTrain, and then I bus again, so transit's very important for me.
I will feel troublesome about that because I think that kind of the rapid bus and the frequent bus is it's very important in my life.
Or being stuck in traffic from the Fraser Valley to downtown because the West Coast Express commuter train has been parked. That's the worst case scenario now being outlined by TransLink. In a new report, it warns that transit service could be gutted unless the federal and provincial governments pony up more cash. CEO Kevin Quinn says TransLink is facing a financial shortfall of $600 million by 2026.
The results of that report were nothing short of shocking.
So what would these potential cuts mean for commuters? According to the report, 145 out of 230 transit routes would be canceled, including most night buses. SkyTrain and C-Bus service would drop by 30%. Handy-Dart services would run only for essential medical appointments. Almost 700,000 people would no longer be able to walk to public transit, and that would push more commuters onto already clogged roads, increasing congestion by 20%.
Impacts won't just be felt by transit riders. It would be felt by the entire region.
The provincial government has been providing temporary relief funding for TransLink since the start of the pandemic, but that money dries up in 2025. The mayor of Richmond says it's not sustainable for TransLink to be constantly wondering where its funding will come from year after year.
I'm not surprised to hear the gravity of the cuts, and I want to emphasize, I am fully confident that the province particularly and the federal government will step up and they'll be supportive. But the question is, if they're not, then what?
BC Conservative leader John Rustad says despite $1.7 billion in what he calls provincial government bailouts since 2020, the Transit Authority is still floundering. He wants an audit of TransLink's books.
TransLink itself is saying that they have record ridership. Why did they allow these numbers to get to be as bad as they are today?
Official opposition leader Kevin Falcon released his party's transit plan Thursday, vowing to extend the SkyTrain to the North Shore and build a new, larger Ironworkers Memorial Bridge. Falcon does not yet have a cost estimate for those plans.
If we don't start investing in infrastructure, we're going to have people sitting in parking lots for hours a day, as is often the case today.
BC's transportation minister did not guarantee that TransLink will get the money it's asking for.
Well, I think the mayors are looking at a provincial election cycle coming up, and understandably they're wanting to get some commitments.
However, Fleming argues that the NDP has been a reliable funding partner for TransLink and is calling on Ottawa to step up. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.